Heavy as the Crown. Chapter 1. The Rise. Everyone seems to have a belief that they know what is good or evil. What makes you able to distinguish between good and evil, genuine and fake, truth and lie, loyalty and betrayal? Without what we define as evil, there would not be a way to know what's good. Evil needs to exist to show what's good. We would not be able to know the difference or see it if one of these didn't exist without their opposite. But can it be defined? And no, I don't mean in a dictionary or by some scholar. We've been taught that darkness is evil and light is good. But who decides that? To an owl, the darkness is light. It's the dawn, the good. Truth be told, we need evil to know what's good. To some, I am an enemy. To others, a savior. It all depends who you side with. It started a long time ago, when I was younger. This is my rise. My name is Excelsa. It's a combination of the word excellence and Excalibur. Well, that's what I've heard from my dad, King Ignatius. It usually involves the story of my mother, Queen Atlanta. She is dead, and while my father refuses to tell me exactly what happened, my kind and understanding Uncle Themis told me. She's dead because I was born. It isn't something you want to live with, that you killed your mother. I'm 20 and it's terrifying, but my uncle is an advisor to the king, and so I go to him when I am scared. He has been a comfort from the time I asked that dreaded question, where is my mom? I live in the world of light. Yeah, fancy, but it's really called Titania. The people here aren't all normal and have abilities. Some don't, but it's ultimately random. Some abilities and powers of control can be learned, while their intricate secrets are only unlocked by the more powerful of us Titans. We have a ranking system. It's not to divide us, but to help us understand our limitations. We go through the convergence. It's the testing grounds of our abilities, a labyrinth of tests, an intricate maze of creatures, traps and dangers that are all monitored for our safety, and to help us bind to the facets of our DNA we don't usually understand till we are forced to. It usually happens at 16, and unlike most, I was aware of my understanding, the forces flowing in my veins, and my connection to the universe, some of which isn't known or understood. Just because you can see something and have it, even if it's innate, doesn't mean you understand its nature, controls, or its limitations. I seem to have gotten sidetracked. Where was I? Oh, yes, the Royal City, our usual reference to Titania's capital, Vitaxia. It's beautiful, graceful, and exactly what a royal city should be. It's built to resemble a paradise. It's centuries old, full of history. Its most noticeable artifact, the water of the River Violet, flowing from the waterfall, the symphonic Veloan Falls. The wind breezing through the water as it cascades over 1,000 meters creates the most illustrious and exquisite melodies anyone has ever heard. The palace is built into the waterfall, a strategy to create one of the strongest fortresses ever to stand, able to even make the most powerful powers that be or have been fail to conquer it. It also makes it absolutely gorgeous. It's made from diamond emerald, molded and bonded into the rock that it hangs on. It glistens as the sun shines across it. The Royal Guard, known as the Royal Guard. Simple, right? That's where the simple ends for them. They are the evidence to a hidden entrance that is only visible when they open it. As they press a pair of buttons, openings allow water to flow, revealing wings from a phoenix that allow the water to flow over them, and those who enter to walk through into the cave of entrance. Afterwards, royal guards press another pair of buttons to block the flow chambers, and the wings slowly close, hiding the entrance in tons of crashing, musical water. The royal guard really does have its hands full with the palace and its gardens, and that's besides having to guard the royal family. Honestly, the royal family, in my opinion, doesn't really need protecting. We have our abilities. The only person who needs protection is me. The royal guard has at its command Theseus, who is quite a powerful individual even without his high rank. He has the ability to learn any combat style with pinpoint precision. His laser focus and skin with the strength of steel makes him an extreme deterrent to those who might want us dead. He is in charge of training the guard, and when he is, he only allows the most trusted of his men to guard my father. He puts the guard through extremely gruesome tests of concentration, endurance, and might. He expects them to be in peak physical condition. He will randomly pick guards for surprise tests and challenges. Failure is not tolerated. It results in immediate ejection from the guard in the palace. Those may be given other assignments, such as sharpening and care of weapons, armor repair, and the like. Then, there are the Scorpions. A selection of 3 individuals of power, ability, and most importantly, loyalty. They are the closest to the king and would die for him. The most trusted, if I ever dared to attack my father, they would kill me. They don't play around. Aside from them, then there is the army, Phagothorax. Those soldiers are fearsome. The commanders are mostly empowered individuals, strategic thinkers or titans of exceptional fighting ability. Serving in the military is one of the greatest honors. It's my honor and pride to lead the armies as the general of the Phagothorax. Officially that title is Al Phagothorax. I oversee their training. As the Crown Prince, I have already selected my Scorpions to be. My sister is the leader, along with Claudius, a shapeshifter, and Omega Ray. He is a walking star and one of the most trusted I have. But my sister, she is my diamond, my protector. I'm not allowed to use my powers. To my people, I'm without ability. I train myself till extremes, but secretly, I test inside the Castle of Convergence beneath the palace floors, a separate area of testing for the royal family. I can't use many powers. No one is a fan of the person who killed his mother. If anyone knew my powers, they would fear me. I already know that my father acts like he isn't, but he's afraid, terrified of his own son. Themis doesn't exhibit any fear of me, and my sister understands my situation. She doesn't have much say in her guarding duties, but she protects me with all her heart. I have a memory of her as a baby. I woke up screaming from a nightmare, unable to put my terrors into words due to being so young. She was there before I could open my eyes to the world from my slumber, holding me as I fell asleep in her arms. My life is hers. She's quite incredible. Her main abilities are the control of liquids. She prefers water, but she's saved our coffee a few times, so any liquid is within her grasp. It creates quite an impact. When she controlled the storm rains from destroying a village, she sensed something, an awakening in the heart of the ocean, Nenertia. That's what it is. The source of certain ocean powers, the dwelling place of Aquarius, the tribunal of the oceans, the most powerful of the water manipulators, a jealous tribunal of legend. My first meeting with him was with my father and sister. We had gone to the beach. My sister and I were playing in the water when she gradually started using her abilities to make it more fun. As she did so, a congregating of the ocean's creatures occurred. They were there to pay their respect to her. This, though, did not go unnoticed. Every ripple in the ocean tells a story, and Aquarius knew what was happening. As the tribunal of the oceans, he did not appreciate this disturbance. The water rose and divided in front of us, crashing and creating a racket. Aquarius stood there with the ocean's water spiraling around him and elevating him to show his authority. He had come with the trident of Poseidon, made from the rarest ocean pearl. It was forged inside an ocean volcano, one of the most powerful weapons in the universe. Whoever had it was unparalleled in the command of the ocean. Its creatures had to aquaforge, the ability to use water as a weapon. My father rushed over to protect us and inquire regarding the disturbance. My father is no pushover. His hands contain enough power that when put together create a supernova. This ability is due to what I can only describe as light or lava flowing through his veins. He is in the solar class of powered beings and is a diamond level like my sister. But in front of the tribunal, he is weak, nothing in comparison. If the tribunal was a lion, my father is a snake, threatening with the ability to kill, but not dangerous enough to endure the strength and the endurance of a tribunal. See something in various eyes, jealousy, a threat, the beginnings of a chain of thoughts. I didn't appreciate my sister garnering attention from the ocean creatures. She wasn't powerful enough yet, but he seemed threatened. Well, jealous. It was his glory and adulation. After a short conversation with my father, Aquarius plunged into the ocean deep with sea creatures in tow. We left immediately to return home. As we went home, I asked my father, who was he speaking to? My dad told me, well, my son, that was one of the forces of nature, the ocean force. It was giving your sister its blessing. I was confused. I had seen something different. Had I? The look in his eyes was not of blessing, it was threat, jealousy. Nothing made sense. The next day, during my royal lesson with the vigil, I asked him the same question, giving the same story I have told you. He laughed. Now, the vigil is a history keeper of both the two nations. For centuries, as long as we've existed, there has been a vigil. He doesn't interfere, just observes and records the history, and then stores it in the collection. All of known history. Vigils are extremely intelligent and due to learning all of known history, which is a requirement. They have mastered combat styles and methods, the powers of nature, the dimensions, and every weapon that has existed. More innate abilities can't be taught per se, so they don't have those unless they were born with it. I can't get it out of my head. He laughed and then said, the tribunals are myth, legend. You read about them in your storybooks, in your language classes of creative writing. They aren't real. You didn't see anything. Your fear portrayed itself as a person to make you understand it. Remember, if the tribunals were real, we would know more about them, intricate details of their living, or the way they interact and affect us. Other than the stories of legend, there is no other information, record, or evidence of them. No one has seen them. If they were real, looking at the legends, we would see them around, their influence. Your mind is powerful, my prince, as much as mine is. Keep studying the history of the real world, and you will be a great king. As I listened carefully to him, my head went back and forth. Who was my father talking to? The vigil never lies. My eyes had deceived me? It was true. No history of any kind of the tribunals, no mention of them through 3 centuries. Only stories. Stories we don't even know who wrote, embellished and polished. Fairy tales. I apologize for getting so lost in thought. I was walking towards my sister as we then headed towards and then through the Court of Roses. my mind went to a place of dread, the sudden, haunting agony of a fear of mine from deep within.